Start, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. 1 second. Let me adjust something here. Oops, sorry. There you go. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya-Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Kora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami Anjananandanam Viram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapishamakshahantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Sri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. Hare Krishna, welcome back for one more session. We are now in Ayodhya Kanda, and we have covered some parts up to chapter 2. We're going to continue from here on, and in today's session, the Ramayana is going to take a turn, a very significant turn in the storyline. And we're going to learn some, at least we're going to hope to learn some important life lessons. So let's see what is there to learn. So in Ayodhya Kanda, the most among all of the kandas, generally people seem to skip or not take Ayodhya Kanda too seriously. One, because it's complex. Plus, there is a lot of what we call pathos, this heart-wrenching sadness. It's like, in one sense, not in terms of pathos, but in terms of lessons, like some people skip the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, or the second and third cantos of the Bhagavatam. There's so much about the structure of how things come into this manifest world, how the embryo gets the material body, how the universe is expanded. It's called Sarga and Visarga sections, and most people are like, it's too complex. But they're very, very important lessons. So Ayodhya Kanda teaches, among many lessons, two very, very important aspects and lessons that is something that we as practitioners of Bhakti, or even just normal human beings, can use or can learn from. So one of the most vital lessons, and it's going to come up, and I'll recite the shloka for you and you'll know why there it is that oftentimes when we have to make a decision and we have to decide on a course of action, we are usually faced with uh, two choice groups. One group of choices are the course itself and the outcome that is pleasing. In Sanskrit, the word is called priya. Something that is pleasing to us and our mind and senses. And the other course is a set of choices and outcomes that are hita, beneficial. And in general, the conditioned living entity is always battling to reconcile what I want to do that is pleasing and what that I want to do is beneficial. So we struggle between the priya and hita. And in Ayodhya Kanda, Lord Ramachandra teaches us that as a theistic, dharmic, and as a human being, it's very important to uh, withdraw oneself from the choice sets of prayer and move on the line of hita, that which is beneficial to me and to others. And sometimes it may not be beneficial to me, but if it is beneficial to others, I tend to make the choices. That's a teaching that Lord Ramachandra is leaving for us. Now, I'm not going to debate with each one of you if questions do come up or what if, because one thing that I've come to understand that our group, and any group, but our group is extremely creative in coming up with scenarios that that we want to make more things complicated in one sense, you know. So we're very experts. I'm not such an expert at solving it. I'm expert at compounding and complicating my own life. So, but anyway, when faced with circumstances of what is pleasing to the mind and senses versus what is hita, what is beneficial to others, what is overall from a spiritual side beneficial to me, Lord Ramchandra is urging us by his own example to choose this versus the former one. That's the whole Ayodhya Kanda. And it's going to unfold, and we will see how that is the case. So Lord Ramachandra chose, although it was pleasing for Dasharatha that Ramachandra becomes the king. It was pleasing for himself. It was pleasing for Kaushalya. It was pleasing for Sumitra. It was pleasing for Vasishta. It was pleasing for all the other citizens as well. Lord Ramachandra chose to go to the forest because as a king and as a leader, pleasing certain groups is important. But what about the other sections of his kingdom? In the Koshala Ayodhya kingdom, literally everyone was happy except one section where Ravana was there, and that Ravana was causing enough havoc in Dandakaranya and other places. What about all of them? So a leader is someone who Lord Chandra is showing is someone that wants to do something beneficial for everyone, not just a small group or individuals. So he took on difficulty for 14 years to make others happy and give benefit to all of them. So pleasing is that which is pleasing to our mind and senses, and beneficial is that which appeases and pleases the superiors, the Supreme Lord, the Super Soul, and our own Atma. That's the consideration of breaking the tie that Lord Ramachandra. So then, with that in mind, we're going to chapter 4. So here's what has happened leading up to this point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That is the cry of a soul for Lord Ramachandra. Don't stop it. Or it may be the cry of listening to my voice. That you can stop. So Dasharatha is very, very thrilled. He has decided to crown Lord Ramachandra as the Prince Regent. But he's in a hurry. He doesn't want to wait. So he decides tomorrow is the Pushyami Nakshatra. And in Pushyami Nakshatra, a person will be powerful. And he decides to coronate Lord Ramachandra. And he calls Ramachandra to his office. And there are details. Sumantra goes to Lord Ramachandra, brings Ramachandra to Dasharath Maharaj, and Dasharath Maharaj conveys that this is what I have decided. From now, you and Sita Devi need to prepare yourself for tomorrow's Abhishek. So right away, begin fasting. And tonight, you will only lie on a bed made of kusha grass. If you know anything about kusha grass, it's not the soft grass. It's dry and pokey. So it's meaning you're going to take on a big responsibility. You begin your austerities right now. So Lord Ramachandra accepts, walks back, and already the news is spread to all his friends, and it has gone to Kaushalya. Kaushalya is thrilled, and instead of jumping up and down, the first thing that she does is invite the Brahmanas and begin a massive fire yajna for protecting and nourishing and benefiting Lord Ramachandra. So the Brahmanas are busy. Lord Ramachandra comes, shares the news with Kaushalya and Sita Devi, and then Vasishta Muni also comes to meet Lord Ramachandra and tells him what he needs to do and prepare himself for the next day's event. And when Vasishta walks away, leaves the quarters of Lord Ramachandra, brings us to where we are about to read this. So we are in chapter 4, text 24. And Dasharath Maharaj, when he was speaking to Lord Ramachandra, earlier, when he was speaking to Lord Ramachandra, he tells him, we are going to coronate you even when Bharata is not there. In fact, it's okay that Bharata is there. He's such a wonderful brother. We'll just tell him that things happened quickly and he wouldn't have a problem with that. So he says, Viproshitascha Bharato Yavadeva Puraditaha Tavadeva Abhishekaste Prapta Kale Mato Mama. My opinion is that we should very quickly do this Abhisheka, coronation, when Bharata is not here. He's away from the city. Now remember, in the back of his mind, he doesn't want Bharata there, because if Bharata means, if he invites Bharata, then K.K. Raj will have to come and he might have to say, oh, hold on a minute. I thought you had promised that Kaikeyi's son will become the king. He wants Lord Ramachandra to be the king. And he says, Kam khalu satam vritte bhrata te bharata stitaha jeshtanuvarti dharmatma sanukrosha jitendriya. That Bharata is a jitendriya. He has controlled his senses. And he will not have any problems that you are ascending the throne, because you're the Jeshtha. You're the oldest one. You're the firstborn. So you have the right to the throne here. And he says, Kamam khalu satam vrate. He is righteous, he's compassionate, he has his senses under control, and he always follows the path of the saintly persons. One of the instructions Rupa Goswami gives us is Satovrite. One should follow in the path of the saintly persons. So here Dasharath Maharaj is saying, Khalu Satam Vrite. Same word, Satovrite, Satam Vrite, Bhrata te bharata stitah. Your brother is such a person. He will have no problem for it. Okay. And then he says, Kintu, and this is an important verse. Okay. Kintu chittam manushyanam nityam iti me mati satam cha dharma nityanam krutashobhi cha raghava. But you know, Ramachandra, it is my opinion, me mati, that in human beings there is always a possibility that even the most righteous person, satam, and the most and the person endowed with mode of goodness, dharmatma, niyatam, dharmatma, nityanam, that means they have constantly demonstrated their goodness. They've always demonstrated how dharmic they are. Kintu, but sometimes it is possible, kritashobhicha, that their mind can suddenly turn away. Okay. They may act out of impulse or in a most unexpected way. It is possible. So this word kritashobhi is important. This is verse 27. The mind is called kritashobhi here. Valmiki has chosen an excellent word to describe the mind. He's using it through Dasharatha and calls it kritashobhi. The word shobha means decoration or something that gives glory or grandeur to shobha. Kritashobhi is one's emotion on the basis of an action. Krita shobhi. So for example, if someone were to eat or do something that is pleasurable, then the mind experiences happiness. If a person does something or there is an action that is done to a person that is unfavorable or brings some pain or sorrow, then the mind experiences sorrow. So the mind moves according to what action is done by the person or what action is done to it. And we call that sukha and dukkha. And we discussed this last week. The word kha gets colored like the sky but remains sukha or dukkha. So the mind is called kritashobhi. And Dasharath Maharaj is saying, Kintu chittam manushyanam nityam iti me mati. This chittam, this mind, can be kritashobhi. It can act in the most surprising, it can act in the most impulsive way, even for a person who is very, very fixed in goodness, very, very fixed in religiosity. And therefore, I don't want Bharata here. And he speaks it as a principle. So Lord Ramachandra doesn't protest it. He says, I understand Muhurta is there. And they have agreed. So when Lord Ramachandra comes back to his quarters, he sees these Brahmanas are performing yagyas under Kausalya Devi's oversight. And Sita is there, Sita Devi is there, and Lakshmana is also sitting there. And this is our first introduction to Lakshmana per se. And this is how Lakshmana is introduced to us in the Ramayana. Lakshmane mam maya sardham prasad ivi vasundharam. There's a verse before that, which I'm not quoting today. And it says that Lakshmana, this is how he's introduced. Lakshmana was sitting on the side there with folded hands, waiting for, humbly sitting with folded hands, waiting to be instructed. So the very introduction of Lakshmana from the beginning is that of a very humble and menial servant of Lord Ramachandra. So Lord Ramachandra looks at Lakshmana and says, Lakshmane Mam, this Lakshmana Imam, Maya, along with me, Sardham Prasadhi Tvam Vasundharam. Sardham. Sardham means side by side along with me. In Sanskrit, Sa Ardham, half and half. So we are equal, we are partners in this. What is the partnership in? Prasadhi, the ruling of Vasundhara, ruling of this land. You and I are 50-50. We are partners in this. Dvitiyam me antaratmanam. Although we are two bodies or two persons, antaratmanam, we are the same soul. Tvamyam Shrir Upasthita. So he says, my dear brother, you are my second life. You are as good as my own life to me. Naturally, you also have attained this glorious kingdom because we are going to be equal rulers. Rule with me. This shloka is important because many commentators, including Govindaraja and others, they say that this expression to Lakshmana, that you're going to live with me and rule the earth with me, means two things. Yes, on the external is that we are partners. Internally, the hidden meaning is that wherever I go, you will be with me. That means if I go to forest for 14 years, you're also going 14 years. We're equally going to roam the land and take care of things. And it also where he says, you are like my own life. And he says, me antaratmanam, you are my own soul or my own being. That means from time to time, you have the authority. I'm giving you the authority and the right to correct me or to tell me what I need to do and what I need to do. So you should advise me. That's the secret. Because when I was studying Ramayana, I would always wonder, when Lakshmana is supposed to be such a humble, menial servant, there are times when he is very heavy with Lord Ramachandra. And under what authority can he speak like that? This is that authority given by Lord Ramachandra. Very pivotal verse. Second canto, or Ayodhya Kanda, 4th chapter, verse 43. Lord Ramachandra is telling him, I'm giving you the authority. We are partners with equal authority. So Vishwamitra, Vasishta has just left Lord Ramachandra's palace. Okay. And he has instructed Sita Devi and Lord Ramachandra to worship Lord Narayana. And here is some commentary, and here's the verse. This is, now we are in chapter 6, verse number 1, because in chapter 4 to 5, the description is of how Ayodhya became very happy. All the residents started celebrating. That very evening, they started decorating the streets with all sorts of decorations, sprinkling milk and scented waters, erecting beautiful, we call it torana in Sanskrit, with fresh banana stalks and leaves, and keeping all the sacred pots with sacred items on the rooftops at the entrances, clearing everything with and smearing the house exteriors with cow dung, decorating with flowers. There were music, and this whole description of how Ayodhya became decorated for the next day's celebration of coronation. So this is in the 6th chapter, the very first verse, where Vasishta has just left and Sita Devi and Ramachandra are going to worship Lord Narayana. It says Gate. Gate means one who has just left. Gate Purohite, Vasishta, the Purohit, he has just left. Ramaha Snato Niyatamanasah Sahapatnya Vishalaksha. So he, along with his Vishalaksha, Vishalakshi means one who has very, very big, broad, beautifully shaped eyes. Vishalakshi, Narayana Upagatam. They both worship Lord Narayana. Yeah. Now, there is a commentator called Tilaka, and he says the word Narayana is used here because Narayana there's a meaning. So we have Narayana and Ramayana. The suffixes are the same. Ayana means the pathway or the shelter. Nara is the entire collection of living beings. So he's called Narayana because he's the shelter of all the living beings. And they all dwell in him. We all dwell in Narayana. So when you read this verse, Tilaka says, it appears as if Sita Devi and Lord Ramachandra are praying to Lord Narayana that may everything go on well, may the coronation ceremony go well, and may I rule the kingdom with a good conscience and good behavior, etc. But they say that this commentator says, but actually both Sita Devi and Ramachandra, and especially she's called Vishalaksha because she has great vision. She has the big vision. She has the big picture in mind. Actually, they're praying to Lord Narayana that please help us depart to the forest so we can fulfill the promise given to all the demigods and sages that we will kill Ravana. We'll finish off Ravana. Okay, because Lord Ramachandra has no desire for the throne. He's the Supreme Lord anyway. But what he is interested in is the welfare of mankind through this way. Okay. So this is now chapter 7, very, very pivotal section. And the very first verse, let me see if you pick up the key word here, which I'm sure you probably already know, but here's the key word coming up. Jati dasi yato jata, kaikeya tu sahoshita, prasadam chandra sankasham, aruroha yadrichaya. That's the key word, yadrichaya. Somehow or the other, or by providential divine will, somebody, we haven't heard her name yet, there was one servant, Gyati Dasi. Gyati Dasi means a servant of the relatives. So, servant of Kaikeyi's relatives. Yato Jata. We don't know where she was born. She was born somewhere. Kaikeya, that of Kaikeyi. Tu Sahoshita. She was the one who took care of Kaikeyi from Kaikeyi's birth. This woman, this Dasi. Prasadam. Prasadam is not Prasadam. Prasadam is the balcony area of Kaikeyi's palace. And how was Kaikeyi's palace? Chandra Shankasham. It was shining like the full moon. So she climbed Aruroha, she climbed up to the terrace actually of Kaikeyi's palace, Yadrichaya. Somehow or the other, she climbed up. In this verse, she's called Yato Jata, and that's the disclaimer here. The reason she's called Yato Jata means we don't know her birth, and which means she's not a resident of Ayodhya. She's not a person born in Ayodhya. She was born somewhere, and she became a servant in Kekaya Raja's palace. And then when Kaikeyi was married to Dasaratha, along with many other servants, since she was the one who took care of Kaikeyi since her childhood, Manthara was also sent along to take care as the close confidant, chaperone for Kaikeyi. And the reason of Yato Jata is so that it's a disclaimer that actually no one born in Ayodhya can behave like the way she has behaved. So she is behaving like this, which means we don't know where she was born or how she was born, on which place she was born. So it's possible that she has some bad qualities in her. So in Padma Purana, apparently, there is a story. Don't ask me more details because I haven't studied Padma Purana. It's through a commentary, that's how I know. That Mantra was actually a celestial personality. And she was given this service through the demigods to send Lord Ramachandra to the forest in exile so that he can bring an end to Ravana. Okay? And the way she was introduced into Ayodhya is through the Kekaya Raja's kingdom. That is how they orchestrated the drama, if you will. So what happened is, Mantra comes up to the terrace, the roof, and she looks around Ayodhya, and Ayodhya is in full glory celebration. So she wonders, what's going on? And then she asks a servant who belongs to Kaushalya's palace, what's going on? Because somehow Manthara was not on the mailing list of Kaushalya's feast program. So she's asking, what happened? What's going on? Why is everyone celebrating? And the servant says, well, tomorrow morning is Ramachandra's coronation. Dasharath Maharaj has given his full permission and he has given his order. Everyone is celebrating. Immediately, Kaikeyi feels a severe pang of distress in her heart and she comes running down. She's called Kubja. She is hunchbacked. She comes back running down and she sees Kaikeyi already retired for the evening in her bedroom, lying down on her bed, which she cannot tolerate. And she says, Uttishta mudhe kim sheshe bhayam tvam bhivivartate upaplutam moghena kimatmanam na buddhyase. Get up, you fool, mudhe, uttishta, kim sheshe, why are you lying down? Bhayam tvam abhivartate, the greatest fear, the greatest calamity is about to befall you. Upaplutam moghe, this calamity is going to uproot your whole life. Kimatma namna buddhyase, you're not able to understand on your own. What a fool you are. Then she says, Anishte shubhakare saubhagyena vikatsate. Chalam hi tava saubhagyam nadyastratro ivoshana. Sorry, ivoshnage. Listen, Kaikeyi, you think you are the dearest wife of Dasharatha, but that is not true. In fact, his love for you is not even strong. It is weak. Anishthe. Nishtha, anishtha. It is anishthe. He speaks sweet words to you. You are my favorite queen. You are my most beloved. But actually, he's doing you a disfavor. And he says, Eva muktva tu Kaikeyi rushtya purusham vachaha kubja papadarshinya vishadmanam gatam param. So this evil-eyed, she's called papadarshinya. Papadarshinya means she has a way of looking at things in a distorted way. Any picture you look at it, and she will say something is wrong in this, and she will only think of what is wrong. Papadarshinya. And she spoke these harsh words and started crying in Kaikeyi's presence. Then Kaikeyi said, Kaikeyi, Tvad Bravitam Kubjam, Kachit Kshemam Namanthare. Hey, Manthara, what are you crying about? What is the issue that has befallen me? I don't understand. When I look at you, I can see that you're severely distressed, but what is the cause of this distress? Manthara, please tell me. Uh, so Manthara, who's very expert at speech, she says, Manthara tu vacha shrutva kaikeya madhuraksharam vacha krodha samyukta vakyam vakya visharada. Hanuman is also called Vakya Visharada. Visharada means very expert at speaking, very expertly skilled to either doing or speaking. Vakya Visharada means he can arrange the words and meanings in a very, very special way. So mantra is also gifted like that. Vajo Krodha Samyukta, with full anger, this lady who's so expert at speaking said, she said, the intention was this. Valmiki is telling us what her intention was in speaking in this skillful way. Sa vishannattara bhutva kubja tasya hitaushina vishadayanti provacha bhedayantachi raghavam. She wanted bhedayanti, she wanted a split in the relationship between Ramachandra and Kaikeyi. That was her intention. Okay. But still, Kaikeyi was not getting it as to what is the issue. So Manthara said, oh, Kaikeyi, your life is going to end right now. Your life is going to become so horrible. In fact, everything that you desired in your life, all your happiness, all of your wealth, all of your opulence will be finished as of this night. Because Dasarath Maharaj has decided to crown Lord Ramachandra as the king. So Kaikeyi could not make the connection. Why Lord Ramachandra becoming the king has to end my opulence, why it has to end all my happiness, etc. In fact, Kaikeyi became very happy. And she said, what? Oh, before Kaikeyi's, Manthara started beating her chest, saying, oh, I cannot see, I cannot understand how much distress you will be going through. And I, as your well-wisher, I'm telling you that you're going to be consumed by the fire of lamentation. You're going to be consumed by the fire of distress. And listen, Kaikeyi, your sorrow will increase my sorrow. Because your prosperity means my prosperity. But your sorrow also means my sorrow. Oh, Queen, you're born in a royal family and you're a king's consort, but you don't understand the nuances of wicked statecraft. You don't understand this politics that's playing behind you. You're very simple-minded. The politics is Dasharatha calls you, you're his favorite queen, but unbeknownst to you, he is completely destroying everything by giving Ramachandra the kingdom. So she says, Dharmavadi Shatho Bharta Shlakshnavadi Chadarunaha. He speaks all morals in public. He says, Dharmavadi, in public, he speaks dharma. But privately, he's very adharmic. He's exactly the other, like the opposite. He's very deceitful. Okay? He speaks gently, but he acts very cruelly. And because of your very gentle nature, He has completely beguiled you. He has completely taken you for a ride. And you don't seem to understand this. He says, what's the use that every night your husband comes and he embraces you and he speaks all these pleasing, appeasing words. But while he's saying all these things to you, he's only benefiting Kaushalya. And please try to understand what he has done. You see the trickery. I hope you see the trickery. Kaikeyi very nicely has sent Bharata away. Okay? And in Bharata's absence, he's making Ramachandra the king. And when Dasharatha lies down on your lap every night and he says all these nice words, please understand you are placing a venomous cobra on your lap that you think is harmless, but is actually going to bite you with and finish your life with poison. How can you be so innocent and gullible? You don't understand that what Dasharatha has done to you is what a snake would do to an enemy if ignored. And then she goes on and on and on, and she calls her senseless. She calls her innocent, completely useless, that she's sitting and not doing anything. So then Kaikeyi says, she has heard in all of this, she's not hearing, Kaikeyi is not hearing how all distresses will come to her. She's only been hearing Ramachandra is going to be king, Ramachandra is going to be king. So she rises from her bed with joy and excitement. And it says, Ativa, means intensely. Ativa sa samhrushta Kaikeyi vismayanvita. She rose from her bed with unlimited joy and happiness. And she says, Ekama bharanam tasyai kubjai pradadau shubham. Oh Kubja, you have uttered the most the sweetest of words that I could ever hear. I am filled with such immense joy. Here, I'm gifting you a beautiful ornament, Kaikeyi. Beautiful ornament, Manthara. In fact, that's not enough. That's not enough. Please, please tell me, say those words again that Ramachandra will be the king. Say it again. And please tell me how I can satisfy you, because whatever I give you is not enough. Etan me priyam akhyatum kimva bhuya karomi te. Please tell me, what can I do for you again and again, because you have uttered the most pleasing words. And Kaikeyi says, Ramo va bharate va aham vishesham nopalakshaye. I don't make a distinction between Ramachandra and Bharata. In fact, both are equal to me. Not only equal, tasmat tushthasmi yadraja ramam rajya bhikshikshate. He says, I don't see any difference. I'm totally happy and contented that Ramachandra will be the king. In fact, there is nothing greater news than this. I will reward you even more. Just ask for it. And she says that I don't make a distinction between Rama and Bharata. In fact, Ramachandra serves me more and better than he serves Kaushalya. So in his heart, there is absolutely no such difference of who Kaushalya is or who I am. He's just very, very loving. In fact, you've given me the best news. And Manthara then tries one more time to tell Kaikeyi how horrendous this is going to be. And she tells her, listen, if Ramachandra becomes king, it will never be possible for Bharata to attain the throne. So Kaikeyi says, no, first Ramachandra will be king, and after he has ruled, next is Bharata, because he is the next in line, he'll be the king. And Manthara says, what a foolish woman you are. Don't you see? After Ramachandra, the next person to the throne will be Ramachandra's son, not Bharata. In fact, from here on, you, Bharata, and all of the generations of people following will only be servants. They will not be royalty anymore. You will be treated badly. Because what is the use? You're not even the mother of the king. You have nothing. You have actually no value anymore. And who knows? At some point, somebody may have this political maneuver and may even kill you. May kill Bharata. So the best thing for you is to stop this coronation however you can. And she gives her a whole script on what she needs to tell Dasharat Maharaj. Okay, so we're going to pause there. And the reason I'm narrating to you a little bit more detail on this is I want all of us to hear how bad association sort of slowly trickles in and contaminates the heart and sows the seed of dissension between devotees or between wife and husband or brothers or sisters or friends or anything. That the trust that exists in a relationship, when it starts by someone else and they're trying to wear it down, when we allow a little bit to come in, if you have a very delicate pot, all it takes is one strike to crack the pot. So this is I was narrating on a different forum, a story of a camel and an Arab. I narrated that story in sort of a positive way, but I'm going to narrate the story in the negative way here. There was an Arab who had a camel. And the Arab was, at the end of the day, he pitched a tent and was lying inside the tent, and his camel was outside. And what happened is, at about midnight, the camel woke up the Arab and said, I know you're sleeping, sorry to wake you up, but the sandstorm that is hitting is hurting my nose very much, and I'm unable to breathe. So can I just put my head inside the tent so I can breathe nicely? So the Arab said, well, tent is very small, but only your nose or face is inside. That's okay. We can adjust somehow. Then at about 2 o'clock in the morning, the camel woke the Arab up again and said, thank you for giving some space for my nose. I could breathe easily, but the sand is hitting my hump very, very strongly. The camel has a hump and mantra also has a hump. So the story has proper connection here. And the sand is hitting my hump very much. It's hurting me very much. I won't be able to carry you tomorrow. Can I just put the hump also in? The rest of the body is outside. My back, tail, legs are all outside. So the Arab thought, okay, we'll somehow adjust, let the hump also come in. Then at about 4 o'clock in the morning, the camel woke him up and said, my back is hurting me very much. I'll adjust a little bit somehow. Can you let the back also come in? Arab said, okay, anyway, it's 4 o'clock. In a couple of hours, I'm anyway going to wake up. He said, okay. And about 6 o'clock, when he opened his eyes, he saw that he was outside the tent, okay, and the camel had fully occupied the tent. And he realized his mistake was that he allowed the camel to put its face in the beginning. So once you open the door, or once we open the door, then one after another, we allow for someone else to take over uh, our heart with negativity. This is in terms of negativity. So the Arab should not have allowed the camel, sort of the lesson. So when someone is trying to poison, especially mantra, her whole objective is to bring a dissension in the relationship between Kaikeyi and Ramachandra. We should not allow it. We should not allow anyone to dilute or break or devastate our faith in Guru and Krishna. We need to preserve that very, very strongly. We need to preserve that with all relationships where you have invested trust. And the best way is, of course, now I'm not going to go into how to repair trust and stuff. I want to leave some discussion on this topic that we're discussing right now. But that's an important lesson. Kaikeyi, who loved Ramachandra, allowed Manthara to bring dissension in her heart. And that is why Manthara won. Manthara was victorious. She was successful in accomplishing that objective. Any questions or comments? We're going to start hearing the dialogue between Dasharath Maharaj and Kaikeyi very soon. It's a painful, painful exchange. One of our devotees here, both of them, Amara Mataji and Rama Raghava Prabhu, did a wonderful drama in Geetanagari last year. And although there was a script, for me, once it went into this dialogue, it was so amazing, the exchange between them as they were acting out the Dasaratha and Kaikeyi's exchange. It was amazing, amazing. So we're going to hear some of it. Most probably not the entirety of it, but just to hear Dasharatha, who's the emperor of the world, falling on the ground and begging from his wife. Very bad. Very bad that he did, and very bad that she would let that happen. But that's how now she has fixed her mind. She's determined in making sure that that outcome of Ramachandra going to the forest happens. All right, any questions, comments, thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Ajita.
Prabhuji, so a lot of times we tend to come across people who showcase that they have the best intention in mind for us. Like in this case, Manthara is saying like, oh, you know, I'm protecting you from devastation. And
right. I'm your
course,
friend. I'm actually helping you.
Right. So how do we, or rather, what principles does one use to trust someone or not? Especially in the non-devotional world, where, especially in India, how does one make that decision?
It's a very broad question, Ajita. One should remember, I started with that which is pleasing, that which is beneficial. So when someone is trying to fill in by saying, oh, I'm your friend, I'm your friend, I'm your well-wisher. The question is, Krishna also says, I'm your well-wisher. Suhudam sarvadehinam. Right? Krishna also says, I'm your well-wisher. The person with malintent also says, I'm your well-wisher. The question is, what kind of well are they wishing? The person who is deceptive is wishing the deep dark well for us, Andhakupa. And Krishna is wishing well-being for us. So it's not easy to discern because the words that Mantra is using is very pleasing. That's why she's called Vakya Visharadha. In a very, very pleasing, sweet words, she's pouring poison into Kaikeyi's heart. Now, I'm not saying that we should operate on mistrust with everyone. Oh, someone is speaking nicely to me. Oh, hold on a second. They must be something, and we don't live on the basis of mistrust. But we should consider that what words we are hearing, if we act on them, what will be the outcome? Kaikeyi wants kingdom. She doesn't want Ramachandra. So that is an indicator already that she is now going to place the kingdom above her relationship with Ramachandra. That is how we as observers are seeing that the poison is acting. Now, in most cases, like in Kaikeyi's case, she's not understanding that she's drinking poison. We are now, we are not Kaikeyi. We are not even we don't even have 1 gazillionth the fraction of love for Ramachandra that she has. But as observers, Valmiki is showing us, listen, if that relationship with Lord Ramachandra is being violated or broken, and someone's coming right, they're putting a wedge right in that relationship, be careful. And luckily, someone who is neutral and objective and loving and caring can guide us through. Oh, hold on a second. What will be the outcome of doing certain things? There is no alternative to having this ability to think big and far. That is what Brahmanas are. And that is who Brahmanas are. They think big and far. They're far-sighted, they're foresighted, and they have big vision. We need such.
So people who are trying to benefit us on the short-sighted or on the like quick benefit, those are the people we should stay away from. Is that what you're saying?
Well, in some cases, quick benefits may be necessary, but this is talking about relationships. We're not just benefiting a little deal here, a money there. We're not talking there. We're talking grand, where there is relationships that are at risk.
Like I was so
with the Supreme.
One thought. So when in Krishna book, when Vasudev comes to Kamsa with his firstborn child, and Kamsa says, "Oh, you've kept your promise. Go back." And Vasudev actually thinks, "I can never trust a materialist." And turns out Kamsa says, "Come back. Let me kill the baby." So. Correct. Now, I know you don't like to hear things like this, but is it okay to trust a materialist ever? Or how do we make that? Should we always have a bulletproof jacket that, you know what, let me have a benefit of doubt or give a benefit of doubt, but not really trust? Like, I'm just trying to make a little golden rule from your words.
Correct.
How to?
There's no golden rule, but the golden rule is this. The most important golden rule is, am I trustworthy enough? Whether I trust others or not comes later. Am I trustworthy enough? Am I being a materialist for others? Am I trustworthy or not? That's our job. Can we trust a materialist? The absolute, the philosophical answer is the materialist can never be trusted. Because the senses, if they are uncontrolled, then the mind is uncontrolled. What they say today will not be what they say tomorrow. But that lesson should immediately bring one to thinking, oh boy, am I like that? Am I trustworthy? What can I do to enhance my trustworthiness? Mistakes are okay. People make mistakes. Sita Devi says, thank God. She says, oh, who's there in this world who can't make a mistake? Everyone makes a mistake. Mistakes happen. But malice and malintent, if there is something in the heart, should go away. We become trustworthy. Should we trust materialists? The answer is no. Do we trust them for small transactions? Yeah, I mean, if they say, I'll buy this from you, or we'll work on this together, you trust them. You don't say, no, I'm not sure. But look at the world. It operates on mistrust, and that is why you have contracts written and people sign it, because what they say is not good enough. You have to write it and sign it, then it's good enough. And as soon as they break it, then they are punished for it. The world operates on mistrust. Words are not enough. In the previous ages, just speaking was enough. Now it has to be written down. It has to be signed. It has to be, accepted and then, notarized or made it legal document.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
That's what contracts are.
Yeah.
I realized when Rama realized when she wait. Did Kai realize her mistake when Rama went to the forest?
Did Kaikeyi realize her mistake?
When Rama went to the forest?
Indirectly, we understand yes, not directly. Not in Valmiki Ramayana, but in other Ramayanas, there is some indication that when Bharata comes to meet Ramachandra in Sringaverapuram, Chitrakoot, before they go to Chitrakoot, there is some indication that some other commentators say that Kaikeyi was there. I think there's a reference in English translation. What's that Prabhu's name? What's his name? Dharma? Krishna Dharma.
Krishna Dharma.
Krishna Dharma's book, Krishna Dharma Prabhu's book has a little dialogue between Ramachandra and Kaikeyi. It's not in Valmiki Ramayana, but there are in other comments. She realized. But Lord Ramachandra says, no, you've been a wonderful instrument. So, I have nothing against you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This is Radha.
Yes.
I have two questions. My first question is, was Ravana's kingdom part of Dasharatha's kingdom?
Yes.
So isn't it normal for him to listen to Dasharatha?
Isn't it normal what?
For him to listen to whatever the emperor says?
No, that was the problem. Under an emperor, there are many kings, and they're called Samanta Rajas. That they all accept his sovereignty. Ravana did not.
So he would fight with the horse downfall all over the world?
I can't understand what you're saying, but the answer is Ravana was, the earth globe was his, but he had taken over that whole section of Lanka and causing disturbance in Dasharatha's kingdom as well.
Speak louder.
And my second question is, did Vasishtha know that Rama was Narayana?
What do you think?
Not sure.
He was also not sure then.
Because
Vasishtha is a very, very great sage. He understands because he was there at the yajna when Lord Vishnu said, I will appear as the sons of Dasharatha.
then why
He
did he
knows.
make? Then
Well,
why did he?
that is the nature of love. That Krishna's love, or Ramachandra's love, covers the knowledge of Godhood, because love is stronger than that. Why Krishna and while in Yashoda's house and Nanda Maharaj's house did all sorts of things, killing Putana, this demon, that demon, lifting Govardhan hill. Did Nanda Maharaj see Krishna lifting Govardhan hill? Yeah. Did they accept him as God? No.
Then why did, if Vasishtha knew, then why did he make Rama worship Lord Narayana? Because he's basically worshipping himself.
Well, Lord Ramachandra, actually that Narayana is the deity of Ranganath. If you've been to Ranganath deity, take darshan in Sri Rangam, it is that deity. And there's a whole side story to it. The beauty of Ranganath was so intense that even the Lord wanted to see his own beauty and was charmed by it. So he appeared as Ramachandra in this dynasty, Raghu dynasty, only so that he can have an opportunity to gaze at the beauty of Ranganath, it says.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, Hare Krishna. I was about to say, thank God, after children, at least some adults are asking. Usually I feel like I'm giving a class for the children and parents are just sitting there to turn the computer on.
So, Prabhu, this dialogue of mantra with Kaikeyi seems like an internal dialogue that keeps on happening in one's heart, or I think in my heart. There's one side which is convinced about Krishna, but then there's another side that keeps on pulling me back. And this happens like even while chanting, inattentiveness and other things. So what do you have to say on that, or elaborate on that, and how can that be the good side be strengthened, and the mischievous side be weakened?
Usually in a college environment, I narrate the story about, it's a Native American story of a grandfather speaking to his grandchild. And he says that, listen, in everyone's heart, there is a good wolf and a bad wolf. Okay. And these two wolves are constantly fighting with each other. They will not allow the other one to become stronger or superior. They're always fighting. So the grandchild asked, so which one wins? The grandfather said, whichever one you feed.
Hare Krishna.
In the whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tries to take us out of, Arjuna, but us also, out of considerations of duality, like, dislike, priya, apriyacha, right? It takes us out of it. He says, don't make choices on that basis alone. I like, I don't like, because what we don't like, in the future we may like, or what we like today, in the future we may dislike. So it's a very weak platform to make choices on, like, dislike. So he gives us a different platform, duty. Because in duty, whether you like or don't like, I mean, you're a mother, so I can't even tell you about it, what a mother's role is, and what it takes to be a mother. Whether you like or don't like, whether you are sick or energetic, whether you have this or that, there are certain things you have to do and you will do, because it's not operating on whether you like or don't like. Right? So the platform Krishna gives us is duty, and then he takes us from duty to even a higher one, where in duty, it's very much that whether I like or don't like, I have to do it because it's the right thing to do. But above that is love, that even if it is painful, even if it is difficult, it is full of distresses and inconveniences. My dear Krishna, I want to serve you. That's where he wants to take us. I'm far from it, but that's where at least the lesson is clearer. But that's where he wants us to go. Because that's how he operates with us. I mean, there's nothing inconvenient for the Lord. Okay. But for Paritranaya Sadhunam, he demonstrates. I'm walking through the forests. I'm killing all these demons. I'm meeting all these sages. I'm eating only roots and berries and all that for 14 years, lying down on the ground under a tree, taking a cold river bath, no clothes, just tree bark to wear, winters, summers, rainy season. no royal food, nothing. There's no convenience of any kind, but simply for paritranaya sadhunam, because that's what moves his heart. So whichever wolf one feeds, that wolf becomes strong.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, what is the positive spin of the story?
The camel story.
The camel story.
Oh, the positive spin on the camel story is, if you don't have time for bhakti activities, start with 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Let the camel put the nose in. And slowly it will displace other activities and time and other tastes out.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
This is Antaranga Seva here. My question was, like you said, Kaikeyi had taken bad association of Manthara, but Dashrath Maharaj had not taken any bad association. He was like constantly in association of sages. So why did he agree to banish Ram from his heart? Because we also see that there are so many devotees who are serving on the altar and then suddenly they disappear. So what happens if they are in association of devotees and then still
Well, first of all, Antaranga Seva Mataji, let's not make a connection between someone's on the altar and then they're not there. Something happened. Okay. Don't make that connection. Okay. They may have a UPS store business and why they're not there. Okay.
No.
I'm teasing you. I'm just joking. Okay. Anyway, don't make that connection, first of all. Okay. Second, the Dashrath Maharaj found himself conflicted from his own doing. He had spun a web for himself. And the web he spun is that he was infatuated by Kaikeyi. And that infatuation is what was his downfall. Okay. He promised Kaikeyi 2 boons. Anytime you want, any circumstances, I will fulfill it. And when she found that most opportune time, he said, if I were to fulfill any of these, I will die. And Kaikeyi is not moved that Dasharatha will die. Sumantra says to Kaikeyi, you're such a wretched woman. You're just like your mother. And then he narrates a story of how her mother was heartless, that even if the husband was going to die from a curse of a saint, she wanted to know what it is that he was thinking. You want me to tell you that story now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, why not? So, Kaikeyi's father, not Kaikeyi's father, I'm sorry. Was it Kaikeyi's father or someone in her generation? I think it was Kaikeyi's father. Had a gift that he can understand the sound or the language of birds. Okay. So one day the king is lying down in his bed, his queen is lying next to him, and 2 birds, a male and a female bird, are exchanging some love notes with each other in a humorous way. And when the king hears it, he begins to laugh. So the queen says, "Mujhe bhi batao na, tell me. And he says, oh, sorry, I cannot tell you. Because he remembers that this gift of understanding the words or the tweets of a bird was gifted by a rishi to him. And that sage had told him, listen, you cannot tell anyone that you have this gift. And the day you say it, you will die. So the wife was insisting, tell me, tum to mujhe kuch bhi nahi batate ho. No, you don't tell me anything, etc. So he told her, I'm sorry, I cannot tell you. If I tell you what it is possible that I would die. And she said, doesn't matter. Tell me what it is. So Sumantra reminds Kaikeyi that you're just like that. You got it from your mother. That you're heartless. That here Dasharatha is saying, Kaikeyi, this is not the time to fulfill the promise or this kind of promise. Ask for anything else. And he's saying, I'm going to die, but that's not your consideration. So Dasharatha's downfall was his infatuation with his wife. He could not do anything else. So was it bad association? No, but he associated with someone who had bad association and was helpless.
Okay,
Listen, Ramachandra is Krishna says, I'm a very tricky person. We call him Tribhanga because he's crooked in three places. So even this whole situation, Lord Ramachandra has created in such a way that everyone seems right in their position. Everyone seems right. And we are all sitting far away and we're thinking, oh, what is the problem? He could have told his wife, forget it. Or what is the problem? This or that. We can come up with unlimited scenarios of what it could be. But let's go into our own lives and we'll find out that what is obvious to others is oblivious to us as we are traversing through life. He made the circumstances so difficult for each and every one of them that his own sankalpa of going to the forest had to be fulfilled. But he did it in a very fascinating way.
Thank you, Prabhu.
It's a good statement to remember. What is obvious to others is oblivious to us, or we are oblivious of it.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Shivaram. I had a question that is my understanding correct that Kaikeyi was innocent, but she was influenced somehow by mantra. So is that the case, or is it that she already had something against Lord Rama and that was utilized by mantra?
No, in the way you've constructed it, it's the first, but actually it's neither.
Okay. Well, I was really thinking more from my perspective that am I allowing somebody to manipulate me into something wrong because I already have a malified intention toward Krishna and devotees, or am I innocent and I don't know better and I got manipulated into something wrong? That was the basis of my question.
In Kaikeyi's case, she knew better. Yet, mantra wore her down. Now, someone may ask, like Radha will ask, why did Kaikeyi continue to stay in the room? She could have walked out. Or she could have called one of the soldiers and said, cut off this woman's tongue for speaking so horribly.
Okay.
But she let mantra wear her down. Oh, from first she said, no, no, no. Then, oh, no. And then one thing, remember the camel and the Arab. One thing led to another, one thing led to another, and the poison completely took over her heart.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. This is Shamkund for you. Although there is Chinese inscription, this is completely sanitized mug. So thank you for your concern for me.
Well, okay, Prabhu. So anyway, I was quite intrigued by the word Sardha.
Sardham. Ardham. Yes.
Yes. Now he's thinking of, like in this, from the commentary, Rama is thinking of sharing the kingdom with Lakshmana. But Bharata and Shatrughna are not even. Should I mean like, I would let it be quarter, divided by fourth, something like that. So it seems
Yeah.
like Rama is also not having in mind of sharing the kingdom, and Kaikeyi's concern is also valid. If we take out the whole idea that Lord Ram is the supreme personality of Godhead, if we take that out from a perspective of a kingdom,
Right.
it seems valid. And add to it, it is also Dashratha is part of this intrigue in not allowing Bharata to be the king.
Be there. Correct.
So it's where is the generosity and the generous nature of Rama to give everything to everybody coming here? In that, if that's the way it's portrayed in the commentary or in Valmiki Ramayana.
So generosity and weakness sometimes look similar. Everybody has a rightful place. Ramachandra taking his rightful position is not wrong. He's the oldest and he's to be crowned the king. Nothing wrong. Out of loving, he's saying, oh, Lakshmana, you're here. You're like my own soul. It doesn't mean 4 of us will sit on the throne and rule. He's saying we'll equally rule. Equally rule does not mean that Lakshmana will also sit on the same throne. And way in the future, in the Ramayana, Ramchandra is sitting by the ocean. Not yet the ocean or somewhere, but he remembers and he tells Sugriva that my entire life is dedicated to Bharata. He is the owner of my life. Since their childhood, there are 2 pairs, Rama Lakshmana, Shatrughna and Bharata Shatrughna. So then one may say, where is the love for Shatrughna that he did not stay back and be with Ramachandra? His affection was for Bharata. So as brothers, Lord Ramachandra is speaking, you're like my own life. I don't see a violation of Ramachandra's generosity. Yes, Dasharatha was part of the intrigue because this is the thing with Dasharatha. He made promises. He made promises that he cannot always keep, or he would very quickly make promises without considering what consequences it would have. Then this is a situation where, with the infatuation to marry Kaikeyi, because she came from the Kekaya province, which has the most stunning looking angelic women, apparently. And he wanted to marry her under all whatever the situation. You ask for anything. He said, oh, you want her son to be the king? Yeah, no problem. But later he understood that Ramachandra is the qualified king. He's the oldest and he's so charming. Everything is Ramachandra. Therefore, Bharata should not be here. Because what if Bharata comes and says, oh, hold on a second, you made a promise. Or Kekaya and Raja will come and ask. So he was part of the intrigue because he already found himself in a very compromised situation. And he's trying to make the best of that bad bargain at that point. Does that satisfy you, Shyamakun?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. One quick thought, Prabhu. Every time when we hear mantra is one of the cause behind. So I don't know, in future in classes, is there any place where we talk about, whether mantra will be punished later for such thing, or any reaction to her, or nothing? I'm just curious to understand.
Paramatma, what is it that you don't know? You know everything.
But Prabhu.
So for people like me, the story will unfold slowly, where Shatrughna wants to punish, but Shatrughna wants to kill Manthara, but Bharata stops him and says, the only reason that Manthara should not be killed is not because any other reason. I would love to kill her myself. But the only reason we are not supposed to kill Manthara is because Ramachandra would not like it. Although in my heart, I really want to finish her off.
Okay.
In fact, he rejects his own mother, Kaikeyi. That dialogue's coming up too. So,
Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhu, quickly, I wanted to share two understandings, if it is okay.
yeah.
I know time is really. So first of all, thank you, Prabhu, for your encouragement. And my understandings are in Kaikeyi's case, I was thinking that her love for Lord Ram was very high, and she also put Ram before her own son. But this kind of love also can fall prey to some bad association overnight. That's what I'm understanding by will of Supreme Lord. So that was the one thing. Please correct me if that is.
I don't think I understood it well. Could you rephrase it?
So her love for Ram was very pure from the beginning.
Yes.
But still, it could fall prey to this bad association in one night. I mean, she had this association, but she was keeping her love, the standard of love for Ram, in spite of her association with Manthara. But only in one night, with her conversation with Manthara, her mind changed.
The first statement that her love for Ramachandra was very intense is correct, but you connected that to, and because of that, maybe it allowed for bad association. That's how I heard it. No. How much cyanide do you need to mix in a huge pot of water or whatever to poison somebody? Very little. Very little is enough. Okay. Now, in the fall of great persons that Bhagavatam sometimes gives us, Bharat Maharaj, from the platform of Bhava Prema, I mean, we are all practicing. I can say for myself, I haven't even scratched the surface of Anartha Nivriti. We're talking of Bhava Prema, or not Bhava Prema, Bhava stage of Krishna consciousness. Saw a little fawn, baby deer. That's it. Everything changed for him. Of course, it took more time. In Kaikeyi's case, Manthara's poison was very intense. All in one evening, destroyed the whole thing. So the lesson is about reversals. Happily, everyone's going in this direction, and something happens that's completely opposite. And how does Lord Ramachandra respond to it? Is he showing us?
Prabhu, we are trying to get there, but always falling down, falling, and again getting up. And then what is the hope for such people? I am like feeling so hard.
As long as we are getting up and trying again, we are in the game. If the day we stop getting up and brushing the dust and dirt and trying one more time and we stop it, we're done. The only thing for us is every time we are beaten up, every time we are punched in the face, nose is broken, whatever it is by the modes of nature, you get up and you start again. Get up and you start again. Don't give up. It doesn't matter how many bruises, all that doesn't matter. Get up and go. That's the lesson for us. This is the power for that is coming from Shraddha, Vishwasa, Sudridha Nishchaya, Krishna Bhakti Kaile, Sarva Karma Krita Haya. That is what we need to strengthen. Doesn't matter. Get up and fight. Try again. Let's all not get discouraged by downfalls and this thing and that, whatever it is. Each one of us has our own little playbook and story of all the challenges and internal struggles and all of that. Each one of us, I'm sure, can write a whole book.
Yeah.
But get up and continue again. Start from zero if required. Start again. Every time, start again.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Haribol.
Prabhuji,
Okay, we'll have to end this with the last question. It's already 11:30. Sorry.
Prabhu, this is
Yeah, go ahead.
Sridhar.
Sridhar Anand. Yes, Prabhuji.
So Prabhu, because of the huge entry of Manthara, the peoples of Ayodhya, they could not celebrate the Rajyabhishek of Lord Rama. And here now, because of the virus Corona, we could not celebrate, Ram Navami. So either the both are, I'm thinking like this, both are same Manthara and no.
Are you asking if Mantra was born as a coronavirus?
I like your question.
I don't know. So we should be in the same mood as the Ayodhya Vasis, crying tears and waiting for the day when we can see Lord Ramachandra's Abhishek and coronation again. We take strength from Ayodhya Vasis.
Yeah, also we could not celebrate the marriage ceremony of Lord Rama last week.
Yeah, no, we could not.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna. Sorry, went all with 11. I didn't even notice time. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Hari Bol.